welcome to video 2 of teaching your dog to brush their teeth, or well, be an active participant in brushing their teeth. If you have not already watched the first video of conditioning your dog to you touching their muzzle, I want you to go and start there first. Once your dog is comfortable with you touching their muzzle and even opening their mouth, then you can start on this second video. So for this video, what you are going to need is your furry friend. So let me get mine. 1 second. All right, now that I have my furry friend back, you are going to want some yummy treats, a toothbrush, and some dog toothpaste. These are the ones that we use. We use Vet's Best toothpaste, and I like to use this long double-sided toothbrush. I got this one from Pupford. There are all kinds of different tools out there that you can use. There's toothbrushes for dogs that you put on your finger. You can use a regular human toothbrush. It doesn't really necessarily matter as long as your dog is comfortable with it. I don't recommend the one on your finger. I have used it in the past, but I just find that it's a little bit easier and more likely for your dog to bite down on your finger. Not intentionally, or maybe it is intentionally if we haven't conditioned them, but just for safety, I would use either a dog toothbrush like this or a regular human toothbrush. In the beginning, just like we did with the muzzle training, we want our dog to just get comfortable with the item itself. So what you're going to do is you're going to present the item to your dog. Yes. And when they interact with it in any way, even if they just look at it, you can yes and pay them for that. CJ, can you sit up? Good boy. Yes. Yes. Now remember, guys, the item you want it to come before the treat. So the item becomes the predictor of the treat. Yes, good job. Not the treat becoming the predictor of the item. Because then what can happen is your dog can actually become scared of the treats because that means something not so fun is about to happen. We want them to have a positive association with the toothbrush. So on that last repetition, CJ actually licked the brush. And I yes and paid him for that. Your dog can even nibble on the brush or the bristles if they want to. That is okay, because that just means they're getting, yes, used to the idea of this being around their mouth, and they're getting used to the textures and things like that. So that's okay. If you are starting this, I would probably recommend getting a couple of these and letting your dog chew on one. Not turning it into a toy, but if they did chew on it, that way you're not worried because, oh, I don't have another one. Yes, good boy. Once your dog is comfortable with the toothbrush itself and maybe even trying to do that, yes, then we can introduce the toothpaste. And all we would do is put just a tiny, tiny little bit right on the bristles and give that to your dog. And he can lick it, he can smell it. Yes, if he doesn't want to lick it and he just wants to smell it, you can still pay him for that. Ooh, I dropped that one. Good job. So there's still a little bit on there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a clear toothpaste, so it's hard to see. I'm going to present it to him again. As you can tell, this is not his favorite activity. Yes, good boy. And then he got that off, so I'm going to put just a tiny bit more. Yes. Yes, good boy. Now, I move pretty quickly in these videos to make sure that you get all of the information I can provide to you in a short time frame. So when you're doing this at home, you're probably going to stay on these first two steps for quite a while. Then once your dog is anticipating the toothpaste and wants the brush to come to them, then you start to incorporate the two. But remember, we're not even yet brushing their teeth. We're just getting them used to the idea. So just like we did in that last video, now when the toothbrush comes towards your dog, can you sit up again, please? Oh, that works. You're better in view. I'm going to present the toothbrush and I'm going to touch his muzzle. Yes. Yes. Sit up, baby. Good boy. Yes. Yes. And then as he gets more comfortable with that, then you would do like we did in the last video. Try to open their mouth, touch the toothbrush to the teeth. Yes, good job. Open the mouth, touch the toothbrush. Yes, good boy. Yes. Yes, trying to lick that toothpaste off. He likes how it tastes. Again, you may stay on this stage for quite some time with your dog, so don't get discouraged. CJ's been brushing his teeth for a while, so he's pretty used to it. The next step after your dog is accepting you opening their mouth and touching the toothbrush to their teeth, you are then going to start doing a little bit of brushing, not anything vigorous, because again, we have to work them up to that. So I'll grab his muzzle, open it, move the brush. Yes, good boy. Again, gently open his mouth, brush. Yes. 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 And remember, when you're working on this stage of it, to do those short little brushes all around on different sides of his mouth. If you only practice on one side, your dog's only going to get used to you doing it on one side. So, yes. It's a little hard to see his teeth when I'm trying to film on that side when I'm sitting on this side, so I sure hope I'm getting them. Yes. Nice work. And then from here, you can continue to brush longer or a little bit more. So you open his mouth, do a swipe back or front and back, and then yes and pay. So remember, in these early stages, you're not doing a whole heck of a lot of actually cleaning. You're just getting them used to the idea of this going into their mouth. And obviously you're pairing it with a treat, so there's going to be buildup of food in their teeth, right? So don't worry so much about getting them pearly, white, and clean. That will come. Once your dog is accepting all of these steps, and maybe, CJ, can you sit up for a second? You can do a little bit on this side, and then a little bit on that side, then pay. So you're not going to be paying as frequently all the time, but in the beginning, you do pay frequently so they get used to it. Once they're comfortable with a swipe on one side, then try to do a swipe on both sides, then pay them. Then try to do 3 swipes before paying them, and then 4. And then ultimately, as you work up in that, by the time you're ready to brush their whole teeth, their whole mouth, you will only have to pay once at the very end. And sometimes even the taste of the toothpaste can be rewarding enough for your dog. So this is how you start to teach your dog to be a willing participant in the brushing of their teeth process. Also, it is important to remember that at any point in time, if your dog does get up and walk away, or maybe they start to not want to take the treats, or they're really licking their lips and turning away and trying to get away, take a break. We never want to force our dog to do something they don't want to do, because then it's not cooperative care, then it's forced hygiene, and we don't want to do that to our dog. So if CJ had chosen to get up and walk away, that would have been the end of our session today, and I might try later on in the afternoon to brush his teeth again, or I might just wait till tomorrow to try again. Your dog gets say in this process, and please honor that in them. If you have any questions on this video or any of my other videos, please feel free to leave a comment and I'd be happy to answer that. Also, if there are any videos that you would like to see us produce for you, please let us know. We are always open to your suggestions and love creating what you want to see. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to tell your dog I said hi.